Iron Man, the one who started it all, the man in the metal, the face that launched 1,000 ships, 1,000 universes, 1,000 multiverses, a franchise, the MCU. Iron Man, the one and only Iron Man. I have come to see why Iron Man, why the MCU, why is Marvel the jam, or used to be back in the day. Why was it so popular? What made it such a great movie that could turn into a franchise? And how did they keep making great movie after great movie after great movie, and then suddenly, poof, poof, out of the great favor of everybody? Now everybody's tired of multi-universes and MCU in general. I have come to see, was the beginning so great? Was the beginning so magical? I've come to see how Iron Man started this magnificent journey. I have come to see about the Iron Man, about the phase one. I have come to see about the phase one of the MCU. But we gotta start at the beginning. I mean, the first movie, Iron Man 2008. But before we get too far into it, let me introduce myself. It's me, JJ Smoothie. You call me JJ if you're nasty, Smoothie if you're dirty, lucky for you, like it both ways, you call me JJ Smoothie. And now, let's do a more deeper dive into Iron Man. But first, if you need a little refresher on the business that went down in the movie, here's a quick synopsis from the top of my head about a movie I watched like 3 weeks ago. I have been pinning this video off, so here you go. Okay, the movie starts with Tony Stark in a armed vehicle making jokes, shooting the stuff, and then it gets blown up by, I don't know what to call them. What are the people that kidnapped Tony Stark in the first movie? Okay, in the first movie, Tony Stark was kidnapped by the 10 Rings in Afghanistan doing business armed weapon dealings. And they kidnap him. He gets kidnapped, and then it's like a flashback into you seeing what Tony Stark's about. You learn that he is a rich man. He is a billionaire with a capital B, okay? He got money, he got the ladies, and he got the time. And he's a weapons, arms dealer for the U.S. Some other things you didn't know. So we know about Tony. He's a billionaire, very charismatic. There's Pepper, I think her name. Yeah, Pepper. Pepper is the assistant of Tony Stark. She is je ne sais quoi. She cares for Tony Stark. She's about her stuff. She's a little bit yeah, you get it. And then there's also Lucius from Empire. Okay, I thought, okay. The music business didn't work out. He decided to join the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, or whatever he's in. And he's like head honcho over there. The bald dude, Obi-Wan, we're going to call him Mr. O. He is like the mentor of Tony Stark. And they're like friends, business partners, and whatnot. So now that you know the people, sort of, back to the quick synopsis of the story. So he gets kidnapped by the Afghanistan 10 Rings group of people, and they say, yo, I need you to build me a bomb real quick. Build me a bomb so I can blow up whatever I want to blow up. And Tony's like, no. So they're like, oh, you want to say no? So they dunk his head in the water for 10 seconds, and it was like, you still want to say no? Tony's like, okay, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, what kind of torture method was that? That was weak. You put his head in water, bobbing for apples, and you thought that was going to make him build you a bomb? Nah. So he's like, yeah, I'll build you the bomb. Just give me the parts. And right now he has like a reactor thing in his chest because when they blew him up, he has shrapnel in his chest close to his heart. So that radiator thing in his chest is pulling the shards away from his heart so he won't, you know. And then there's this doctor in there, and he's the one who put the reactor thing in his chest, and he's also stuck in a camp, kidnapped, and has no free will. So Tony and him are stuck together in the cave. And the man is like, oh, let's build a bomb. And Tony's like, I ain't building no bomb. He's like, what, you're not building a bomb? He's like, yeah, I'm going to build a suit so I can get out of here and bust out. And he's like, I ain't got nothing better to do. Sure, I'll help you. So together, over the months, they build a suit. And the whole time they're building the suit, the Afghanistan 10 ring people are not really getting it. They're like, I guess they're building a bomb, this half-building bomb. I wonder what they're doing with that big old machine over there. And then what happened? Memories. Some other big honcho. You think one dude's the big honcho, but that's like the little under bite big honcho. So the big man comes like, hurry up and build my bomb. You got so many days, so many minutes, so many hours to build my bomb. If you don't, I will kill the doctor dude. And Tony's like, fine, we'll build the bomb. And so Tony's like, oh, we got to expedite this. So he's like, building the suit, hurry up, they don't care. And then the guards see, and they're like, what is happening? Da-da-da-da. And Tony builds this makeshift Iron Man suit. Builds the suit, and they're running out of time. The suit's not done yet because the guard people came in because they're like, oh, no, they're not building a bomb. They're building something else. Finally, they realize, but, better late than never, I guess. So as Tony is putting the finishing touches, the doctor man, he grabs a gun. He's like, I'll buy you some time. And he goes, grrr, 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 and lay them hoes out. But only so much a man can do against an army of other people with guns. So they grrr, grrr, and lay him out too. And just before the 10 ring people come and about to murk Tony, the suit comes on and he's like, hey, watch out. Pow, 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 pow. And he's blasting them, fire throw, gunshots, da-da-da. Eventually, he makes it out. He flies in the air with a big kaboom and lands somewhere in the middle of the desert. And he's walking, and then he sees a plane, and he has found his freedom. And he is back in America. A lot has happened in this movie so far. Where are they going to go with this? So he comes back to America. He has a press conference about how he got kidnapped and bombs and business, whatever. And so people are like, oh, he's going to say, yes, I was there, but yeah, we're back to business. But instead he's like, I'm cutting production. We're done. I see what my weapons are doing. It's causing more harm than good because the wrong people are getting into their hands and causing mass destruction in cities and towns. And I don't want my weapons to be used like that. So we are done. I'm not doing this weapon stuff no more. People are like, whoa, what, no, where, what? Because, the army needs the bombs because they want it. The mans want to make the money because you can never have enough money, apparently. So, but Tony's like, I'm done. And everybody and their mama is trying to convince him, like, come on, Tony, don't do that. Come on, like, build some more weapons. Like, let the weapon production continue. Like, no, why you stop it? Come on, Tony. Tony's like, nah, I'm not hearing none of that. So he goes in his garage. And he's like, I'm going to build a better suit. Not that Tin Man, somewhere over the rainbow suit. I'm going to build a real suit. A real one. All this technology stuff. All this blasting cannons, flying in the air. Full protection suit. And while he's at it, he builds himself a new heart to keep him alive. The other one was made in a cave under the ground somewhere. So he's like, I need a new and approved suit. And a new and approved heart transplant thing. So he builds a new one. Penny Pepper, whatever her name is. It's like, don't throw away your old heart. So she frames it in a case. And it's like, Tony, proof that Tony has a heart. And frames it. And this kid is like, oh, wow, they're probably like each other. They're like in love. They like each other. Little office forbidden romance. I don't know. I don't know if it's forbidden, but it's like, ooh. Somebody call HR. So you go through the whole montage of Tony Stark building the robot Iron Man suit and failing and tweaking and flying and falling and failing. And We're seeing like the making of Iron Man, the prototype, the protege, if you will say. I will say yes. And while this is going on, the main villain dude is still alive, of course. He didn't kill him. He just got a little burnt on the side, a little crispy, okay. And he's obviously mad because he's a little burnt, a little crispy, okay. They are terrorizing other cities in Afghanistan and killing people and taking women and children and killing men. So Tony's like, oh no, I have worked on this new suit. It's time to bring it out and fight for the people. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to mess people day up. So he stops the bad guy, save the women and children, and he's flying back home. And like this whole thing with the military's like, hey yo, we got a foreign object. Should we shoot it down? And it's like Tony Stark in a suit, and he's like calling his Navy, Army, military, Air Force buddy like, hey yo, the thing in the sky, do not shoot it. And while this is happening, also the Afghanistan 10 Rings people are looking for the suit and the parts to figure out how he built it and how he escaped. So they find the parts and they go talk to the main leader. You thought the other dude was a leader, but no, the other dude was a leader. But now there's actually a big leader, and you find out it's the bald dude, Mr. O, Tony Stark's mentor man dude. And you're like, oh, you're the bad guy. And he kills all the 10 Ring people, and I'm like, whoa, okay. He was like, you're no longer useful to me. And he kills him because we find out Mr. O hired the 10 Ring people to kidnap and kill Tony Stark. But instead of the 10 Ring people killing Tony Stark, instead they kept Tony Stark to build a bomb, which was not a part of the plan. So Mr. O was mad, and he's like, you know what, y'all didn't do what you was told, I shall do it myself. You know what they say, you can't do it yourself, do it. If you do it yourself, you can do it. If you know what they say, don't do it yourself, do it. Don't leave other people to do it, you do it. What's the saying? It only gets done if you do it. I'm done, messed it up. It's not cool anymore. Okay. So he kills all the 10 Ring people. You're like, whoa, you're not even a villain anymore. It's actually Mr. O. He can't trust nobody with no hair. They always evil, especially a rich person with no hair. Well, I think you can trust some bald people. You know what? It's just when they look like that. I mean, he had evil written all over his face. It's basically Mr. O's like, you know what? I want to build my own super suit. This is a great investment and money maker. Think of all the money I can make. So he goes to Tony. He presses little button, and Tony's like, and freezes him in place. And then he takes his heart out his chest. Bam. He's like, thank you. And he leaves and dips, and Tony's about to die soon because without the reactor thing in his heart, the shrapnel's coming into his heart, getting closer, so he's slowly dying. But do you remember Peter Piper Pepper put his little first heart that was made in a glass container? So he smashes the glass container and put it back in his heart, and he said, I can breathe. Yes, Jesus. So after that, he gets back in his suit. He powers it on, and he's using the Iron Man suit to go and stop Mr. O. But Mr. O in the background has been building his own super suit, but he couldn't get like the reactor part like Tony did in the cave. So when he stole Tony's little heart piece, he put it in the super suit. He's like, well, dang, there we go. So now there's 2 Iron Mans. I was like, whoa. Wow. Okay. Tony's obviously looks better because Mr. O's suit is a big hunk of junk. And then, you know, the fighting, the action, the pow, 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 meow starts to happen. After the action happens, you know, I will say it was a little lackluster. So Tony's getting his butt beat. And, you know, at the end of the day, Tony Stark prevails. Come on now, it's a superhero movie. And at the end of this thing, he gets another press conference. So they give him a little script of cards and tell him what to say. And he's like, I'm Iron Man. Boom, everybody erupts louder and cheering and asking questions. And the press conference goes on fire and everything's crazy. Well, it doesn't go on fire, but everything is crazy. And that's the end of the movie. And then, you know, they got their little end credit scene. And it's like black man with the eye patch comes and it's like, I'm going to start the shield or something. Or like, You want to be part of the MCU multi-universe? And that's the end of the movie. Now that we have gotten, and you kind of got a better understanding of the movie, if you do not know what the movie's about or you forgot you need a refresher of the movie, we have gotten that out of the way. So now let's talk about how I think this movie started beginning of everything, like how the MCU got popular off of this movie and how they were able to keep going. Because some things, they're not what it seems to be. They start, but it doesn't create 59 movies and 29 shows. So it must have had the special sauce and the special jam to keep it going. I think Iron Man works because it's character driven. Tony Stark is incredibly charismatic and flamboyant. I don't know if that's a word. Charismatic and kind of his own character. He's not cookie cutter, what you think like a Superman, whereas he's like, oh, this is just a good person, or a Batman, you're just like, this is just a brooding person. Tony's is something you, especially at this time, have never seen before, like the quirky character with the quick jabs, and he's not so, I'm a good guy. He's like, he got layers. He's like what they say, an onion. Yes, Tony Stark is like an onion, a funny little onion who does funny little dances that entertain me. It was a very entertaining movie, especially with Tony Stark and the actor. I will say the action was very drawn back. It wasn't really blasting in your face, which I think it kind of did help it because it's not too loud and overstuffed. It's like action. It lets you sit with the characters and learn about them and care about them. I may not know their name, but I do remember them because it gave us time. It wasn't just, here's character one. This character is here to deliver epilogue and dialogue and keep the story going, to give the main character something to banter off of. It felt like, oh yes, this person's talking because I want to get to know them, and they actually bring something to the story. Like Pepper Peter Parker, Pepper Girl. She gave Tony someone to like do the banter with, and she also was caring and made you see Tony in a different way instead of just always bantering. You saw him more serious and more focused because he likes her and she kind of likes him, and you saw that relationship, so you saw a different side of Tony. It wasn't overstuffed, and I'm like, oh my god, how many characters. Sometimes shows, they have too many characters and you're like, la, what is happening? Or they have useless characters. They didn't have no useless characters or characters that didn't matter. And the main reason I think this movie did good, because one, it was not trying to be a franchise. It wasn't trying to be 10 steps ahead thinking of the next 5 movies and how this all was going to interconnect. Maybe they was, but it wasn't like, oh, I wonder how this is going to connect to this. It was just like, we're putting our toes in the water. Is it too cold? Is it too hot? Let's do it. And it obviously set up for another movie with the end credit. They was like, if it happens, we spike the ball over it and it's now in the court or something, sport reference. I don't know. We dribble the ball and we make a shot, a free throw to keep the game going. Or we hit the ball with the bat to see if we can knock it out the park. Oh, that was a good one. But they weren't trying to be like, okay, we're going to set this up so we can have this villain here and then Tony be here and then we set up this person. They wasn't doing that. They were just trying to make a good movie first. That's all they was trying to do. Make a good, great, fun, entertaining movie. And they delivered on that front. It was a good, fun, entertaining movie that made them some money. Because Marvel wasn't a sure thing on its own yet. It had to stand on its own 2 feet to make sure it had the building blocks to support multiple movies that people would want to see. Because if nobody wants to see it, baby, why are you making it? In movie standpoint, there was, as I was saying before, there wasn't like much action. There was like 3 action scenes in this whole movie. The movie's like 2 hours, so I haven't watched that many superhero movies, so it'd be fun to see my experience watching basically all the Marvel movies so far and seeing how things progress. But I will say that didn't hurt the movie as much as I thought it was, because I was like, there's not that many action scenes, but it's so engaging and fun to watch that, girl, I barely knew the action scenes weren't there, because the montages of building a suit, entertaining, him being stuck in Afghanistan, building a suit, entertaining, him talking just with Peter Piper Pepper, entertaining, the complex of the villain wanting to actually kill Tony so he can make more money and do the business on his own. Girl, I was entertained. I was never like, come on now, can I see some fists flying? Because I thought action movies supposed to be more pow, pow, pow fighting. But this showed me, man, you don't got to fight all the time. You don't have to blow stuff in my face all the time. Girl, all you got to do is be entertaining in a good story. It was good at storytelling. It was good at pacing. It was good at being entertaining altogether. And that's why I think it worked, because it wasn't trying to build a franchise, like I said. It wasn't trying to be something grandiose, great. It was just trying to entertain. At the end of the day, what a movie got to be is entertaining. And yes, sir, it was entertaining. A hero's origin story. Tony, oblivious to the damage he's causing in the world, gets a wake-up call and realize, changes his ways, builds a suit, tries to save people, and keep it pushing. A villain that you thought was the villain, then a little plot twist. No, the best friend is the villain. Villain does villain stuff, not villain is complex. Villain just wanted more money. Villain got beat in the end. Hero won. Simple, but great. And limited characters and villains. Everybody had their place. Everybody played their part, and they played it beautifully. And I know the Marvel, DC, whatever, is known for their quirky characters and jokes. In this movie, it wasn't too much. It didn't break the tone. I was like, oh my God, here's the joke man telling his jokes again. How funny. Should I laugh here? Where's the laugh track? Come on now. Jokes city. It was good. It felt natural. It didn't feel like, oh, here's the joke break. It wasn't that. It was, when it was funny, it was funny. If it wasn't funny, it was still entertaining. It didn't feel like, oh. It felt like, or like, or it was like, Tony, you got me there. And that's all I have to say for Iron Man. Now let's rate this movie out of, should we do 5? Should we do 10? What should we do? Ooh, like 5 stars or 10 stars. We'll do, or should we do percent, like 1% to 100%? Let's do percents, right? Or 5 stars, like stars or like percents. Should have thought about this. Stars or percents? Stars or percents? Stars or percents? I'm such an actor. What? We'll do percents. I'll give this movie, looking back, I'll give it a 90%. Looking back, watching it, I see why I started a universe. I see why Tony Stark carried the MCU on his back. I'm excited to see where this goes, because I haven't watched a lot of the MCU movies. I cherry picked. I probably watched, off the top of my head, I can think of 6. I watched Endgame, but I did not watch Infinity Wars, so I can't wait to see how everything ties in. And I watched Infinity Wars way back when. Girl, I don't remember what the freak happened. I know there's a purple man and time travel. There you go. And with that said, JJ Smoothie signing out here.